And when you walk into Ottawa's Knox Presbyterian Church today, you'll see Aboriginal dancing, beading, display tables, and a silent auction of Aboriginal art. But you might be surprised to hear where the money from that silent auction will end up. It's going to help support a new facility for the Ottawa Islam Care Centre. My next two guests have worked together to make today's event happen. Linda Koosees is a coordinator with Aboriginal communities here in Ottawa, and Omar Mahfoudhi is the executive director of the Ottawa Islam Care Centre. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what sparked this collaboration? Omar?
One important thing that the center does is it actually reaches out to the community and offers services to the community. So it's a situation that the center finds itself in, that we are serving a broad variety of people in the community, and in many cases we are dealing with directly members of the Aboriginal community as well. It was actually a small incident that happened one Saturday morning when we were giving out our lunch bags to the homeless in downtown, that I came across a man who, he quizzed me on, he said, "Where's this coming from?" And I mentioned that it's coming from the members of the Muslim community, and he said that, "Oh, I love the halal food you guys give at St. Joe's," and he mentioned other places that he's had the food, and so this got me thinking about the parallels and the similarities between both the beliefs of Aboriginal community members and many cultures and the Muslim community. So this got us thinking, and I've been working with Linda for a while.
And Linda, what has been your experience and work with the Ottawa's Muslim community?
My passion is to help people, to support people, because I get a lot of feedback from other people, non-native or native people, what they want. So what I do is, with this Islam Care Center, they can get support and help what they need.
What kind of support? I mean, Omar talked about, distributing food as well, but what other things have people from the Aboriginal community?
It's all about youth, the elders, and social services, youth camps and everything.
So that support is there regardless of what the religious background is, of where it's coming from. But, it does seem like an unlikely connection from the outside. So from each of you, I guess, what makes this a good fit?
At least from my view of what Islam teaches and what Muslims believe in, I see definitely a very good fit, actually. The Aboriginal cultures and the native cultures, I don't want to talk too much on that because I'm no expert for sure, but I do see that there is some connection to the elements around them, to the earth, to spirituality, and these are all aspects of Islam. And then when we talk about the issues, one thing that I was really surprised by and really drew me into that connection is some of the issues that the Aboriginal communities were talking about. Alcohol is prohibited in Islamic faith. And we hear that in the Aboriginal discussions, they're talking to their youth about avoiding these things and getting away from it. And so we work with many cultures and communities and faiths, but this is one where we found that even the small discussions that they're having among themselves and among their community were very much the same as what we were talking about with our youth and our community.
Linda, for yourself, what from your experience makes this a good fit?
For me, it's a good fit because as I see our cultural ways, we respect the earth, we call it Mother Earth and water, fire and everything. An Islamic way, it's almost similar because they respect the water and everything. Even the smudging part, I noticed that Moroccans, they usually smudge. It's similar to our cultural native way. There's no difference. Everything's almost similar.
And Linda, for yourself, you've recently converted.
I converted in Islam 2007. I studied Islam before I converted to Islam. I studied 4 years.
What led you to that decision?
I was searching. Seriously, I was searching a lot of stuff. I went to different religions, Panico, so the last thing I became was atheist. But I still had an empty space, and I was still searching. Somebody introduced me in Islam on the internet, said, just read it and study it. So I've been studying it, and I see the similar stuff in it, and then I said, okay.
This community gathering that you're hosting today, what are you hoping people will take away from being there?
We're expecting that people are going to see this collaboration and this networking. One thing that we've noticed when we go to many of the Aboriginal community events is that they are looking for what they call the new people to get on board with supporting their concerns. I believe that as newcomers, all of us in Canada, we are on, especially right here in Ottawa, unsurrendered native land. And so if we're going to be here, we have to be, at the very least we can do, is supportive of their concerns. And so I want to show this as to the Aboriginal communities that we're here to support your causes. We're here to champion your issues and concerns. And I encourage anyone who attends, who hears about this, to do the same. Whether you're Muslim, whether you're from any denomination or religion or non-religious. This is very key for the Aboriginal communities that we get behind their issues. This is what I'm hoping to accomplish from this.
And what can people expect to see and experience today? Linda?
The reason why I suggested silent Aboriginal auction was to see our part of our culture, what we do, what we respect, and why we use all these stuff. And we still do this. We still teach our youth and our children all the cultural stuff. This is why I did it, to see our cultural ways is still alive.
Can we look forward to more collaborations between Ottawa's Islamic community?
Yeah, I already have something planned for October, and it's going to be bigger than this. It's going to be involved a lot of cultural artists and all the crafters and dancers, and then all the different cultures will be there.
But Linda, for you, you've connected with so many different communities in Ottawa. How does it feel to kind of bring them together like this?
The first thing I saw when I moved down here is the multicultural. People will work together. No matter what kind of background or religion we have, we still work together. That's the more important thing. You don't see that in the different cities where I've been. And we can work together no matter what background we have in religion.
Well, thank you to both of you for coming in and talking to us today.
Of course. Thank you, Giacomo.
Thank you.
Omar Mahfoudhi is the Executive Director of the Ottawa Islam Care Centre, and Linda Koosees is a coordinator with Aboriginal communities here in Ottawa. Their joint event is called A Community Gathering of Four Directions. It's happening in downtown Ottawa at the Knox Presbyterian Church. That's located at 120 Lisgar Street. That's at the corner of Lisgar and Elgin. It's today from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's free and open to everyone.